received yesterday a brochure in the mail, one of your brochures, and I didn't see on it anything about pro-life. Did I miss it?
I'm not sure what brochure it would be.
Name those things that you mentioned, most of those, but I didn't see that.
Well, I'll have to check with my staff there and see what's on it, but we don't. I mean, I'm the only 100% pro-life candidate in the race. I'm sure it's in here. It's not something we hide. You know, you heard me state it today.
I didn't think so.
The issue of life is the key issue that got me into politics from the pastor. I ran for state house against a Rhino Republican who supported abortion on demand. And it was my bill that I co-sponsored that ended Medicaid funding abortion here in the state and put Jack Kevorkian in prison for assisted suicide. I have a 100% voting record on life issues. So the brochure, and I'm not sure which one we've sent out several. It may not have been dealing with anything except economic issues. But it's a good point to remember that Tim Walberg, though most people know that he's 100% pro-life, and if it ever changed, Sue would have something to say too about my sanity. But there's no question on that. Yes?
What's your position on illegal aliens, defense of the border, and Arizona law?
I pulled this. Sonny Bono, when he was still alive in Congress, he was asked the question, what's your position on illegal aliens? And he looked up from the table and he said, what was that first word again? The gentleman said illegal. And he said, well, then carry out the law. And that's basically my position. Carry out the law. I don't support amnesty. I don't think Reagan would support it today. I mean, when he gave that first amnesty, he thought that'd be the last one I ever did. Let's just do it. 5 million, get it taken care of. And I think he'd say that was a mistake. He shouldn't even done it then. I think when we talk to immigrants, legal immigrants, most of them, I think we'd say almost overwhelmingly, they would say, we don't cotton to illegal immigration either. We came over the right way. Sure, you might need to work on some of the red tape, unnecessarily red tape. But bottom line is, we understand that this is a great country. I mean, everybody shouldn't just come over willy-nilly. There ought to be some control with it as well. So we need to secure the borders. Reagan said the gates that swing open to freedom ought to swing wide and free, but everyone who comes through ought to be committed to speaking our language and abiding by our laws. And I would say sign the guest book. And there are ways we can do that. Even in our time that we live right now with the terrorism that goes on, we may have to become accustomed to more documentation even on ourselves, but that may be the price of liberty, as long as we approach that with great caution also.
So you support the Arizona law?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would support Arizona law in most cases, even if it weren't exactly written as it is. It's a sovereign state. States have powers. The federal government gets their powers from the states. And we've turned it backwards. And to think that a president and an attorney general would stand up and file suit against a sovereign state for doing simply what the federal government should do and hasn't done is unbelievable. Is unbelievable. And to allow a foreign president to stand and decry one of our states and accept that and stand and applaud at least one side of the aisle.
That was just ugly.
Yeah.
It should never have happened.
Calderon should have been instructed very clearly after the first day of statements made that we will not accept this. We wouldn't do this in your country. We don't expect it here. So, especially since the reason people are leaving your country is because what you're not doing is what's right. And you certainly have more stringent illegal alien laws in your country that are enforced than we do.